Neil deGrasse Tyson goes on the Impulsive podcast and is questioned if God exists. Is he real? And they bring up Cliff, and Cliff also responds. So we're going to be reacting to all of that. Let's do it.
You said that for your inspiration, you sometimes visit that song that you were just singing. So
For when I confront problems in the world,
other people, when they look for hope and inspiration, they look to a book called the Bible. Does God exist?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, you mean does that God exist? Because
Yeah, I guess so.
Because if you
does
just
any
type God into, look at the wiki page on God, and there's thousands of gods listed there.
Does any God exist?
I based on what people say about what that God is supposed to do and its influence in the world, based on that, I remain unconvinced that anybody is in charge of anything in this world.
You're agnostic.
Come to RCN.
Yes.
You refuse to believe or disbelieve. You
It's
don't
not
have evidence.
Refuse is too harsh. Yep. I would welcome better evidence than what has been presented in defense of the existence of somebody who's in charge.
We had two guys on our podcast named Cliff and Stuart Connectley. They are devout Christians who spread the word, the gospel, and they were very convinced by the eyewitness testimony of Jesus, and that was I think, I don't want to misquote them, but that they cited that as some of the strongest evidence they had to prove the existence of Jesus at one point in the Bible. And you're saying that
you're saying
God,
eyewitness, not Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
well, Jesus is God to some people. Jesus
no. But the existence of God and the existence of
Let's
Jesus
stick with God
are separable variables.
Yeah, okay,
here.
so maybe that's do you think Jesus existed?
Because Thomas Jefferson, one of our founding fathers, published a book called The Morals of Jesus of Nazareth. Okay? And you know what's in that book? He took the New Testament, physically cut out with scissors, every reference to a miracle, anything mythical, magical, conversations with God, and he left in the wisdom of Jesus. And so to Jefferson, Jesus was a wise person who had a lot of good things to say, but the religious dimensions of him was denied in that compilation of his book.
And that's wrong. That's what's wrong with the American church. My goodness. The fact that you're out here cutting out the miraculous. That's why America is no longer have anything miraculous. 200 years ago, they would walk in America and people would fall under power for hours on end, encounter God and come to the faith. And now there's no supernatural. Everything is just science. Science has become the God of this world. Christians believe more in science than their own God. And it's because of stuff like this.
That's why I didn't call him Jesus Christ, which means Jesus the Anointed One, Jesus of Nazareth. So one can embrace the existence of Jesus. By the way, there's some people who doubt it, but I don't have the energy to go that way. I don't have if he's fine, he exists fine. He's a person, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is his existence or not is a very different issue from whether you want to say somebody created the universe and is in charge of things.
Can biblical explanations of the universe and scientific explanations of the universe both be true?
The history of that exercise really has not boded well for the Bible.
Okay.
It's if you go to the Bible and deduce something about how the universe must be based on the Bible, and then make a prediction about the world, not a post-diction, a prediction, because that's how science works at its best. Anytime anyone has done that, it has shown to be false. So the record is not there. Enlightened religious people today don't use the Bible as a science textbook.
Enlightened how? So now people with cancer, nothing can be done with them. There's still no cure for cancer. That's the science you believe. There are places where people are getting healed that have cancer. People are mad. All science can do is sedate them. Demons are wrecking people up, messing their minds up. Come to RCN, you'll see it. It's on a daily basis. People addictions are breaking off from people. Not because they followed a certain practice of discipline and self-discipline, and I'm just gonna stop, but because power hit them. So I completely disagree with this notion. This enlightenment is wrong. This enlightenment where you accept God's teaching that is only about this earth. You never go into supernatural. You're cutting out Bible verses. What in the world is...
They use it as a source of inspiration and a source of moral compass, even though there's a lot of sort of stuff in there you wouldn't do today because sensibility, like if your kids disrespect you, you will not stone them. Okay, that's in the Bible. The things you just,
That's Old Testament. There was a reason for that.
Did that really?
Read the Bible. Why are you asking me about God? You haven't read the Bible.
It's not my name on the show, man. Listen,
now it's
That was good.
Going back quickly to
and Joan of Arc.
Yes,
okay?
of course.
Yeah.
Burned at the stake.
Yep.
All right,
Tough.
They try to that. Okay,
but things were very different in those times. I want to ask you this
Wait,
quickly.
I got to say this quickly.
Yep.
Do you know, if you read the transcripts because the Catholic Church keeps very good records, if you read the transcripts, do you know like a third of why they built the case against her? It was for cross-dressing.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
It seems Logan is becoming more increasingly interested in the Christian faith, whether willingly or unwillingly, we don't know. But so at the beginning, Cliff, he was talking about Cliff at the beginning, and Cliff responded actually. Cliff and his son responded to this clip about the faith. Let's have them talk about it because they're much better at this than me.
Logan, appreciate the shout out and being on your show was a blast. Neil deGrasse Tyson, fascinating point on Thomas Jefferson. We actually are gifted that book by somebody every year. It is not quite honest to who Christ was. He obviously claimed, and others outside of the Bible, like Josephus, claimed that he was a miracle worker. So I don't think we can just be comfortable with whether he did or didn't do miracles and say, hey, let's just make up our own Bible based off of our comfort level and what really suits us. No, we gotta go back to the original eyewitness testimony and the original historical documents. That's why we believe Jesus was an actual miracle worker and did claim to be God.
Logan, thank you so much for that fascinating conversation and dialogue you had with Dr. Tyson. Many people say Jesus was just a good religious teacher, a good philosopher. The reason that is impossible is the extreme nature of his claims. The eyewitness record is Jesus claimed to be God. When he claims to be God, he's probably on the intellectual level of a poached egg. If he's not really God, he's not a great teacher. He's a blasphemer. He's an egomaniac who, being a mere man, claimed to actually be God in human form. That's not a good teacher. That's a guy who's totally out of touch with reality. Or else, Jesus is who he claimed to be. Not a good teacher. He claimed to be God in human form, who did teach good morals and good ethics. But he claimed clearly to be God in human form. So this middle ground option, Jesus a nice teacher, Jesus, I respect him as a good ethicist, it's not an option. Yes, obviously the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapters 5, 6, and 7, are the product of an ethical genius. So yes, Jesus was an ethical genius. But then this ethical genius went on to claim to be the eternal pre-existent God in human form. He's either on the intellectual level of a poached egg, due to the extreme nature of that claim, or else he is who he claimed to be, God in human form. But the middle ground, Jesus the nice teacher, Jesus the good ethicist, is not an option.
Yeah, I completely agree there. The claims that Jesus makes in the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation, is not a mere man, is not a mere preacher, is not a good teacher or something like that. No. The claims that Jesus made in the Bible was that he was God. John 1. That's it. We can't go and start saying Jefferson and what he did in the book, him cutting out the miracles. First off, those miraculous things that happen in the Bible are still happening today. Come to RCN. You'll see demons getting casted out of people. People that you see them, you say, wow, look at the way they're dressed. This is a wonderfully made person. You think everything's normal about them. You think they're just completely, everything's fine. Until God reveals that there are demons inside of that person that are messing that person up, completely messing up their lives, causing them to be addicted. And you will hear a man speak out of a woman's voice, out of a woman. A man will speak out of a woman. You will hear a deep man voice out of a woman. That say, this is my name. This is where I'm from. You'll say, who are you? Are you not Candace? Why are you saying you're a demon now? Come to RCN. This is a natural phenomenon. Yet the American churches have rejected this. They treat it like the supernatural, like it is a breadcrumb. Meanwhile, it is our inheritance as Christians. They would rather look at superheroes and idolize them. Meanwhile, their God, they can't idolize. They would rather look at supernatural things and scoff at it. Meanwhile, it is our inheritance. This makes me a little bit sad. It's just sad to see how bad the American church has went, man. It's crazy. But all right, guys, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. That is all. God bless you. See you next time. Peace.